The coolest part about my job is I have the tools to model the world around me. The cool thing about math is that it is all around us, and it's not just the formulas and the equations that you see in kind of high school and junior high and elementary. It is in when you Google something, the mathematics is making it so that your page that you're interested in is the first one on the list. If you look at sunflowers or the way trees are growing, that's mathematics as well, optimizing their growth so that they get the most sunlight, so they can grow the largest and the brightest. Any piece of technology you pick up, your cell phones, the text messages you're getting, the songs you're buying on iTunes, how that's all encrypted, that's all mathematics. So whether you realize it or not, you're using mathematics and encountering it every day in almost everything you do. If I say describe a chemist or a biologist or a physicist, they think of somebody in a lab coat with test tubes or doing experiments in a lab setting with equipment. And if I say describe a mathematician, they're not quite sure what that picture looks like. But we are the same as any of the other scientists. We collect data. We just don't have to have a laboratory to do so. So I study an area of math called graph theory. What I focus on is different types of networks. For example, Facebook. If you think about Facebook, you could think of every user on Facebook as a little dot. We'll call that a vertex. And if two people on Facebook are friends, we'll draw a line between their dots. We call that an edge. So we get this visual representation of what Facebook looks like or what the internet looks like. And then we can study the structure of this graph and the mathematics behind it, and it'll tell us something about the network it's modeling. There's so many different opportunities when you study math. You could, of course, go into teaching. I've had friends go and study epidemiology, and so they're using their actual graph theory skills to study the spread of disease, and they work with a lab. I've had friends go work for CSIS, kind of like the Canadian version of the CIA. I've had friends go do into actuary and financial math. I had a friend who studied biology and statistics, and then they worked for a wildlife company going out to the field, gathering data on piping plovers, and then analyzing that data using their statistics. So pairing math with one of the other sciences is great, because then you can do two jobs. You can gather the data, and then you can use your math skills to analyze it as well. I had math anxiety in elementary school. The reason why I struggled with math was that it wasn't being taught in a way that jived with my learning style. And if you're a student in a math class and you're finding that you're a little overwhelmed and you're struggling, speak to your teacher, and maybe they can then help try to alleviate some of that anxiety and that stress around the math by finding a way to explain it to you that makes sense to you. My advice to students is to not drop math. You may not be thinking of going into a field that uses pure mathematics, but when you study math, you're learning these critical and these analytical thinking skills, you're learning problem-solving skills, and they are transferable across any field. So anything that you want to do, you're going to be using that skill set, and math helps build that.